So, well, on this theme of praise, one of the great reasons for praise, I think, within ICMDA that we've seen is everything that God has done for us over the last year. And we wanted to start today just by looking back on 2023 and thanking God for what he has done through his people. So I've just got a presentation on that. Much of this will be familiar to you anyway, but it's so good to remember and remind ourselves about the good things that God has done. I was reading this morning in 1 Thessalonians, that one of my favorite verses, which is rejoice always, pray constantly, and give thanks in all circumstances. A wonderful antidote for feeling down or on top of things. And really struck me in Vinod's talk this morning that praise, that there's no joy except through praise, that praise is a powerful antidepressant, and that praise is inner health made audible. I love that, inner health made audible. So let's look back on 2023 and start by reminding ourselves that it's all about the Lord Jesus and his cross that he carried for us, bringing us into his kingdom and called us into his service to preach the gospel and to heal the sick. And we look forward to that great day when people will gather from every nation and every tongue and every tribe and every language, worshipping the Lamb, praising him around the throne. So a Christian witness through doctors and dentists in every community and in every nation, as we seek to start and to strengthen national movements, and particularly as we focus on training, developing, and mentoring the future leaders, ensuring that there are always new people coming through to be able to take on the roles as the work grows. And the work has really grown this year, with us moving on from 84 national member groups onto 107 affiliated, and beginning to think forward now to 2026. So much to give thanks for in the growth of ICMDA's fellowship. And the map is ever more green every time we look at it. Most of sub-Saharan Africa now is green. We've got challenging areas of new pioneering that we're going to look at later today. But we see a microcosm of God's gospel and his kingdom growing all around the world, and increasingly functioning in our 7 different languages, with gatherings together, and our 14 regions. And just a reminder, our 3 big strategic priorities: establishing new movements where they don't exist, strengthening existing movements where they do, and developing servant leaders through training, modeling, and mentoring. We've had only one change in the board this year. Asemwan Asamota from Nigeria has stood down, and Professor Odineo Oluwatosin, here bottom row in the middle, has joined us at the World Congress. And Elmer, who's served as many years as chairman, has passed on the baton to Vijay, and both Elmer and Vijay are with us today. And Elmer will stay on the board for another year in support of Vijay taking up this new role. And I'm just so thankful for the board, their wisdom, their support, their presence, their guidance, and the way that they really step up to the plate and guide us. We're in very good hands with a very competent board. So these following slides, we continue to thank God for our field workers, now from 50 countries around the world, 68 of us, and nearly up to that biblical number of 70 that Jesus sent out in Matthew's gospel. And as I said, we've had about 6 new ones join us this year. And everyone who retires, there's more than one to take their place. And of course, the highlight of the year was the World Congress in Tanzania back in June. Almost 1,000 people from 106 countries. And just a wonderful testimony to the hard work of many people who made this reality, particularly Augustine and Linda L. and David Wiodi and Josh, who did a huge amount of work behind the scenes, but for all the many who participated as plenary speakers, as seminar leaders or as track leaders. And this time we had 10 parallel pre-conference tracks, including the student one running, which was many more than ever before. And that meant that many more people came and stayed for the whole time at the conference. But wonderful microcosm of what's coming when the Lord returns. And we really saw, I think, this year the end of COVID and things getting back to a new kind of normal, with many regional and national conferences taking place. So here that there are over 60 conferences that we're aware of that took place this year. The World Congress, of course, in blue, regional conferences in orange, and all of the national conferences that were held around the year by our individual groups. And really, we thank the Lord for the lifting of those travel restrictions and being able to get together again to really enjoy fellowship. These were the 23 new movements who joined us, particularly from Francophone Africa, from Latin America, the former Soviet Union, a couple in Europe and Southeast Asia as well, and then some other scattered ones. But great testimony to the very hard work, particularly of our AEOs, who did a lot of this work with the national leaders and helped them get through to the point of being able to apply for membership. The webinars continue once every week. We're up to 170 now. Some of these, one of them in particular, has had over 60,000 views on YouTube, and they're all up there still for people to be able to make use of going into the future. A great resource for us. And we're now in our 7th generation of training tracks that we started back in 2020 when COVID first fell. We've got 18 tracks running in this half of the year. We had 24 in the first half of the year leading up to the World Congress. And you can see the numbers there. Well over 1,200 people have been through one, 100 10-week training tracks, and 8 different subjects have been run. People from 100 countries have been involved. And what's really exciting is that training tracks have now taken place in 7 languages around the world, with more coming. And underlying all of this is prayer. So it was Ehab's not able to be with us today, but he made the front cover along with Hannes, one of our board members from South Africa and chairman of the strategy committee, and of course Rudy, who has been leading the work in Ukraine. And I'm sure that this prayer every day that's going up makes a huge difference to everything that we do. So thank you for all of those who promote it, who pray every day for people. Great thanks to Sarah and Dave and Steve, who helped, who edited the Doctor's Life Support number 5, which was issued at the World Congress in English. And I just heard this week that the French translation is now complete. And so it's now at the sense checking stage, but it's all been done and will be published in the next couple of months or so. And we've got 7 other translation teams working on Doctor's Life Support 5. We're still running number 4 off the website with the daily email, but that will change in the new year. Diploma of Family Medicine, 4 cohorts now have been through, 25 graduated from the first one. We've got close to 30 about to graduate from the second cohort. There are a few doing resits before that will take place early next year. And then the 3rd and 4th cohorts are well underway. And there have been many bilingual students, particularly French and Russian speakers, who've done it. And that has enabled us to look forward to be working very hard on translating the course into French, Spanish, and Russian, and launching in January 2025 with the course in French, Russian, and we hope Spanish as well, along with a new diploma of healthcare management. So I know several of you have already trained as staff workers and have got the diploma in family medicine, and the vision that Vinod had many years ago is coming true as we see around the world. And then the Ukraine appeal, it was a big project that goes on. We're still sending 2 lorry loads a month of medical supplies to Rudy and his team, and they're being distributed to people on the front line. And I think one of the great things about this is just the number of partners we've made through logistics companies, through hospitals, through also companies supplying drugs and pharmaceuticals, both private and public hospital institutions. And we're really seeking the Lord about what that might hold for the future and what it might mean and how he's been leading us. And so we look back at COVID, and we look back at the Ukraine war, and of course now we've got this new war in Gaza just in the last few days, and also problems raging elsewhere in places like Sudan and Armenia, Azerbaijan, and so on. So very conscious of a hurting world, and we don't know what the future will hold, of course, but the Lord has helped us to be able to use the challenges of COVID and the Ukraine war to be able to grow our ministry and get more people involved. And we thank God for that.